Hi, here I am, day 3 of recording. I will just fill you in about today. I was very groggy. I had a coffee at like 4 p.m. yesterday, and I kind of knew it was going to be a bad thing, but I did it anyway because I was feeling like being a little cheeky. And it was like 11:30 in bed, and I was just tossing and turning. Like, honestly, felt like I'd snorted lines. And then I had bought this sleeping medication. They say it's pregnancy safe, but I'm like, fucking hell, I don't know how this is pregnancy safe because I took 2 and I kid you not, it was like I was on K, like I was drugged. I kind of had that sleep paralysis like 3 hours later where my body was like unable to move. I didn't know where I was. Like I literally was like tranquilized. I didn't know where I was and I needed to go to the toilet. And when I got up, I was fully like stumbling. I was drugged. I was fully drugged. And then went to the toilet, had no idea who I was, where I was, what year it was. And then I came back and fell into that drugged daze again and had the most horrible dream that Sim was cheating on me with one of my good friends. And I screamed in bed and woke up the house. So I'm not going to take that medication anymore because I have a hard time believing that's pregnancy safe. So the topic I wanted to talk about today was when bad things in our life happen, the silver lining. The silver lining when bad things happen in our life. Because I've had a lot of bad things happen in my life. A lot of trauma, a lot of mental health issues, a lot of addiction issues. It's been a rough road from about 12 to 32. It was hard. pretty, pretty much my whole teenage and adult's life was suffering. There were definitely months of pure bliss and joy, no doubt. I had some great moments once in a while, but overall, my journey has been one of savage lessons. And I'm a very happy person. I'm a very content woman. And I guess what I wanted to discuss was if those really supposedly negative things that happened in my life, like really bad addiction, like really bad mental health, hospitalizations, electric shock therapy, these things that at the time felt like the end of the road for me. They really felt like this was just my reality. This was what my reality was always going to be. But that's not the case. And I would not be as fulfilled, as liberated, as aware as I am now if it were not for those things. So I guess, yeah, I want to talk about bad things turning into our freedom because it's very easy to see ourselves as a victim. It's very easy to be fucking angry. And I get it. I spent a long time really angry and fucking hating whatever there was out there. If there was a God, I fucking hated them. Because in my reality, they were torturing me without intention. It was just cruel. Like, and I think I hadn't, I think if I'd had a way out sooner, I would not be as liberated as I am today. Because I truly believe that often the case is the path to surrender and the path to complete self-acceptance is not easy. And if we weren't faced with the possibility of death, if we weren't faced with the possibility of these losing everything, it's hard to appreciate fully the gift of life. So I guess with addiction, starting with that, I always felt in a way lucky that it was so bad for me when I drank. Like when I would go out, it wouldn't take long before I was really drunk and just a really bad version of myself. Like it wasn't gradual. It was quite immediate, and that made it, in a way, like I don't want to say it made it easy to stop because it took me a long time before I accepted it, but I think now where I'm at, I'm really lucky that it was such a clear-cut decision, because I do think the in-between of being like, it kind of works, but you know, there's bad nights, there's bad blackouts, but then I have fun, so you know, it's not as clear. Whereas for me, it was like, fuck up my life, lose everything and die, or stop drinking. And if I can speak openly about life without vices, like it's a very, very rich life. And it's hard to imagine that when you're in addiction or when you're not sober, because I know that frame of mind when you imagine someone's life sober and you're like, cool, good for them, but that sounds really fucking boring, like, and hard and just monotonous, because when you're in addiction, your pleasure receptors are just deregulated. So imagining, it's almost like you're projecting what you experience sobriety is onto them and imagining that's their whole life. And that's dark. Like I definitely would be like, damn, you must have a boring life. But it takes a while to settle into sobriety. Like it's hard to regulate after addiction. Like it's not for the faint-hearted. But once you do, there's no limit to how good you feel. Like there's no limit, and there's no conditions to feeling good. It's not like I do this, I take this, and therefore I feel this. It's just like I wake up, I do something I enjoy, and then my dopamine just goes through the roof. Like, because when we look at children, we see like they're in a whole other reality and they're not missing out. So addiction was a really hard challenge throughout my teenage years and whole adult life, but now it's been such a silver lining because I really get to live so, like, it's so rich. Every emotion, every feeling, it's heightened. It's like I experience life now in HD, like. And removing ourselves from distractions. I know, again, this is really not at all profound, like not at all. Like ChatGPT could tell you this within 1 minute, within actually 0.2 seconds, because God, she's quick. But really, like the myth is that we need more. We need more to feel good because life's hard and we need more. But the more you strip back, the more you feel. And I guess that can be really scary for people, but if you like Coke, if you like alcohol, if you like MDMA, you would like being sober because you can feel like that pretty regularly once you've regulated your pleasure receptors. Like, it doesn't take much to feel really, really good sometimes. If you listen to a song, you can just, like, I find myself just hysterically crying on the train sometimes. I'm like, okay, I just feel so much. Like, and it's gratitude. And, you know, that word gets thrown around a lot and it's very buzzy, very self-helpy. But once you step into a new reality tunnel that is unfamiliar and scary and foreign, but you know you have to because sometimes it is life or death, and you do, you then have so much gratitude for why it was that you were given that addiction in the first place. And when I see people in the city falling over, vomiting, drunk, like, I just feel grateful. I feel sad for them, and I also just know that's just, like, you know, a part of life. Like, there's a lot of people out there boogieing and getting pissed, but, like, I'm just like, oh yes, like, I can go home and read a book, or I can go to a party, or I can go to a restaurant and get to such a high level without losing myself in the process. And that was a huge silver lining for me. Like, it was like being reborn again. And I know people with addiction that have struggled for so long say that. Like, it's like you're given a new life. You're given a new life, and everything, it's like you're seeing things clearly. Like, you're seeing yourself clearly, and everything's just like more high definition. And I think once we strip back and make these hard decisions that we know we have to make, we start making more decisions that are hard to make, but we know are right. And it just has a domino effect. I've done that. I know this next one's going to be hard, but I know I want to do it now. And the want takes over the lack of motivation. Like, the want trumps all discomfort because you will do it because you know intrinsically inside it's a right decision for you to make. And I think that's what it is. It's like, it's really hard to make any right decisions when we're not making any. Like, I know that is not really at all a very clear statement, but it's like, if you're doing nothing, then it's easy to stay doing nothing. But if you make one really hard decision which betters your life, it then just creates so much space to do the next thing. And before you know it, it's this snowball effect. And, you know, I went to the beach on Sunday, and it was, like, honestly one of the happiest days I've had in my adult life, because it was like I was 8 years old. It felt like I was an alien on this planet and seeing everything for the first time. Like, the seashells, they were so detailed and foreign, and I could have just gotten lost looking at every single one. And then the plants, like, they were so beautiful and green, and they felt really fleshy to touch, and like everything, I was just so curious. I wanted to experience this earth and all that it is giving us. But it's very hard to be in that frame of mind when we're so dulled down and we're so avoidant of our own true nature. And it's not easy to integrate with ourselves. It's really scary sometimes. And yeah, it can be really tough. We can go through a lot of hard months. And, you know, I know for me, there's been a lot of tears, a lot of breakdowns. Like, when I first got sober, it was really, really hard. I went overseas to Europe, in Italy. I know that sounds like it was really hard. I went to Europe in summer in Rome, and it was like really hard being in Tuscany and like seeing these girls like have these Aperol spritzers, and it was like I could only have a lemonade, you know, and it wasn't easy. Even being in my bikini in 40-degree weather with the dolphins, like, I wanted to drink. But in all seriousness, like that was a hard thing. It's like you have this pressure that you're overseas, so you should be really having fun. Like I'd have phone calls with my best friend and she'd be like, yeah, but you're in Italy. Like how hard can it be? And I'm like, yeah, how hard can it be? And like flashing to me like on a bridge, ready to jump. Like it was bad. It was bad. I feel sorry for my husband. Like every day was a breakdown. Every day was panic. And I think that period, this was like 2 years ago, that period of knowing I have to make a decision now. I have another 6 weeks left. I am going to ruin my trip and my husband's trip if I stay in this space. It's going to affect my relationship and it's going to be a waste of money that we're here. Or I can muster up all the strength in me and wake up early and go to fucking CrossFit. Like the thing that I hate the most, like I hate exercise. Like I do. I get depressed, like in the past, going for a run. It's like, but I knew I need intense exercise right now because I am so out of my body, out of my mind. I need to like shock myself. I need to go and at 7 a.m. in the summertime in Italy to a fucking CrossFit class with 15 people that speak no English and do a very hard workout. It was very beneficial. I would leave that class and I would feel good. It was like my mind had simmered. Going there, it was like just demons, just darkness, just self-hatred yelling in my head over and over again. And you just have to ignore it. And you think you're insane by going to work out when you have all this fucking stuff in your head. But then you leave the class and all of a sudden you've chatted to some people, like, you've smiled, you've connected, and you walk away and then you've got the whole day. What I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to say do CrossFit. That's all. It's not like a pyramid scheme to do CrossFit. But I'm trying to say that it requires a lot of strength to pull yourself up by the bootstraps or whatever that expression is and just muster every ounce of strength to change what's happening in your chemistry and in your mind. And it is a choice because, like, it's not just going to go away. Like, they're not just going to go away. You have to be stronger than it. And so that trip ended up being lovely. Like, it wasn't the best trip, but like it was good. It was good. I turned it around. I meditated. I did a lot of breath work and I exercised very regularly, even though I fucking like sprained my ankle and had like grazes all at my elbows because I was really like taking it. Like I was pushing myself, but I desperately wanted to simmer down those voices in my head. And I came back to Sydney, and yes, there were many other challenges that presented themselves in the year ahead, but that was like the first kind of movement of me saying, like, I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to choose my willpower and my discipline over just endless suffering because, again, it's not going to go away. And I had fucked my brain up. Like, I had to pay the consequence. Like, you stayed in dopamine addiction for too long. You wanted to just stay on the high. Like, everything's good, life's good. Let's stay high and never come down. Okay, sure. But eventually you'll have to. And for me, it became more manic. It was like I got terrified by dropping. I was so used to fabricating my highs and taking Dexies and Vyvanse and Coke and anything I could get to have a fix. I was so used to staying in that top, that dropping became terrifying, and then I needed more and more and more, and it was a hard place to be in. It was. Like, of course, it's going to take time to heal. it's not just going to be like, I'm sober and that's it, cool, I'm back to woohoo, like, let's go for a run and you seize the day, let's go surfing. Like, no, it's okay, now I have to re-regulate my entire body and my entire mind, but it is worth it, because every single thing we get on earth that is a true gift and is a true rewarding feeling comes at a price. There has to be a payoff. We have to work. We have to work. Like, if you want money, you got to work. You know, if you want fruit and vegetables, you got to grow them. You got to take time and spend time laboring. Like, and anything worthwhile isn't just handed to us. And the harder the challenge, the greater the reward. And I know, oh, whoa, like Tony Robbins, like Deepak Chopra. I don't know. I couldn't really think of any others right now. Profound. But it's like the silver lining. The silver lining. Life's good. Life is good. And the empathy, the relatability, the understanding you have for others, that is a huge gift. That is a huge gift, because love is a very powerful feeling. And when you can connect with people and really understand what they're saying and how they're feeling, that is really powerful. That is what we're here to feel. Human connection, the raw, nitty gritty, sharing that feeling and saying, like, I get you. I know where you're at. And it's not easy, but be proud of yourself when you get through it. And that level of pride is worth more than any challenge. So that was a huge silver lining for me. And then medication, you know, like mental health. I was medicated from 18 till 6 months ago. On and off. That's a whole nother podcast if I ever do one on that. But like, it's about accumulating experiences here. It's about accumulating understanding of the self. And what a great way to really understand the self, by losing the self completely and feeling in this frozen state of in-between and disassociation and disconnection, and experiencing the opposite of connection. Because finding yourself again and finding that truth and finding that inner stability gives you so much wisdom. So the silver lining of suffering with mental health is that, believe me, you're a very intelligent person and you are a deep thinker, and you're probably psychic, and you're probably tuned into things that are not of this material world, but it just gives you more perspective. And look, it also kills people, and I'm not here to say like, oh yes, mental health, wonderful when we suffer. Like, no, it really can be the demise of a person, and it is really tragic. And honestly, it's fucking savage. And I know that, but I guess where I sit now, unmedicated, about to be a mom, I just feel so much empathy for my younger self, and I think just so much love, and I feel maternal for that younger me, because like, we're trying our best. And sometimes it's absurd the way that the journey the mind takes us on. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I lived with a hyper-aware fixation on a feeling in my mouth that went on for like 5 years. Like, and it was extreme OCD, undiagnosed. And I just think back to myself and I just want to cry and I just want to hug her. And that's the silver lining. It's the love. It's the love that you have for yourself when you move through it, and the wisdom. And I don't worry about things resurfacing. I don't worry about negative emotions returning, because I don't think like that anymore. I really believe that we experience what we experience because it's there to teach us something, and it is really hard. It's really hard. And sometimes you think, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is a sick joke. And it is. But there is a possibility of making it through, and there is a possibility of seeing what you went through in a whole other way, and experiencing yourself in a whole other way. And I just feel like when I die, I will say to myself, I really learnt and I really lived. And I think a colourful life filled with plenty of rock bottoms and plenty of wins, that's a life well lived. And yeah, connection is such a beautiful feeling, and how powerful it is for someone that has gone through addiction or grief or losing someone or mental health or any of the really hard things about being alive here. How powerful that you get to connect with other people who have gone through that and really know how they feel, and come from a place of no judgment, meeting them as an equal. That's amazing. So I would say choose living a colorful life over feeling good. Yes, life is this. And that's it. Be messy. Be messy. Be messy and loud and fall over and do things that you will look back on and be amused by. Don't do bad things. Don't go out and hurt people. Don't do that. But like, I don't know. I was fucking chaotic. When I look back on me in my mid-20s, I'm like, wow, you were bold, but good, because life is short. And I'm going to always bring it back to that. Life is short, so fucking go out and be in the washing machine of it, only to come out of that and get off the train when you know is the right time, metaphorically speaking, and be proud. Be proud of the journey. So silver linings. I'm going over, but I'm just going to use this 2 more minutes to say, like, even within this experience of being pregnant, you literally would not know, because my stomach is like not existent, and I'm annoyed by that because I really just want to have this huge belly, but it's coming, bear with me. But even the first 3 months, like, of this trimester 1, like, so much happened. It felt like cruel. It felt like, fuck you, life. Like, I've lost all hope again. Life is just suffering, and I was fearful all the time. I was so scared. I did not feel safe on earth. I did not feel safe. I felt like any minute I'm going to be wiped out by a natural disaster, and that's it, and that's just gone. And, that is a possibility. But don't think you know more than the mystery of life, because you don't. Don't think you know the way. Don't think you know the path, because believe me, you'll be surprised. And now I'm so excited, and I love this journey of pregnancy, and I'm going to be a better mum for having experienced what I did in the first 3 months, and I'm going to be more resilient when she comes, because I know what it's like to not sleep, to be depressed, and to feel like shit. So it's built me up, and that's the thing I want to leave you with. whatever you go through, you build resilience and you get wiser and you get stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That don't kill me. I really don't want to be singing Kanye West because I'm just not impressed with his behavior as of late. So anyway, I don't even know how this was, but I hope it was okay. And I love you. And have a great day. And au revoir.